Boston can breathe a sigh of relief now that the 118th Boston Marathon is in the books with no major problems. Some local runners said there's no way they were going to miss this year's race.
And that includes the owner of a local store, Running Wild, Paul Epstein. He crossed the finish line along with his wife in Boston Monday and joins us on the phone this morning. Paul, good morning. It is the day after. I got to know, what was running through your mind as you were running that iconic 26.2-mile race?
Different things at different times. Part of it was pain, a lot of joy and excitement, and just all kinds of different emotions. I mean, it was from start to finish. It was an incredible event yesterday.
Paul, you've seen throughout all the national coverage a lot of the interviews with the victims from what happened last year. Were you able to interact with any victims at any point during this year's trip?
I didn't actually get to speak with any, but we saw several of them, and a few that were running. We saw some others running who were obviously affected. They were very emotional. I don't know if they were direct victims or just friends of victims, but there were so many emotional people on the course. Some crying, breaking down, and some just shouting out joy and being strong, Boston strong.
Besides social media, because we've been tracking you, we've seen the selfies you've taken on the race route. How will you remember this marathon compared to all the other marathons that you may have had some sort of participation in?
Yeah, that's a great question, because this is my 9th year here, and this will be by far my most memorable. Not my best performance, but because we came back and we took it back. We took back the Boston Marathon. Not just my wife and I and all the friends from the Gulf Coast that came up, but the entire world took it back from terror, frankly. And it will be, in my mind, in my history book, the culmination of months of training and the biggest running event, I think, in my life so far.
And the Boston crowd is always outstanding at the marathon, but this is the 9th time, as you said, that you've run it. How different was this crowd than what you're used to?
Biggest ever. More people were out on the course, more spectators, and more of them were excited the entire course. I started the race at 10 o'clock Eastern time. The final wave didn't start till 11:45.
Wow.
Most of the spectators on the course arrived before 5 a.m. just to get a good spot, and they were there for 12 hours easily, and I promise you they didn't let up their screams and shouts along the whole way.
Do you find yourself, as you pack up right now, as you head home, you find yourself with some new friends that you already look forward to reconnecting with for next year?
Absolutely. We make friends up here every year we come. We had dinner last night and met a couple gentlemen who are from Australia but live in Hong Kong and ran last year. And I said, well, you're back. They said, of course, we had to come back. And we shared that same sentiment, and we've exchanged emails, and we're going to connect with them at some point in the future as well.
Well, Paul, we really appreciate the time. You and Cherie have a safe flight back to the port city, and so glad to have you back here, but so glad to have you representing us in Boston this week.
Thank you so much. It's been a privilege, a humbling privilege to share this with you, and thank you. I've really enjoyed it.
You bet. We're very proud of you, indeed. Congratulations to completing a race like that. Now you can see the results of the Boston Marathon, all of our coverage and previous interviews with Paul and his wife and what's going through their minds as they got ready for the big race. That's all on our website, local15tv.com.
It's been great insight from the start.
Yeah.